Welcome to this lesson in Clone My Business, how to create a successful digital marketing agency just like mine. And I want to start off with the two biggest questions that I get. So ever since I started this course, when people email me asking me, hey, Sean, do you think this is right for me? They always ask me this. Number one, how can I sell this when I myself don't know what I'm doing? And number two, when I know nothing about it, how can I supervise others to do the job? And so I'm going to answer these questions, but we first need to lay some groundwork. So this is my dumb picture, and this is a 2010. That's when I started my agency, and I'm showing you my bad example. So when I first started out, I already had a background in digital marketing, and because I had a major lack mindset, I did everything myself, to try and keep as much money for myself as possible. So I literally went out and sold in the morning, and then I used the afternoons and many times into the evenings to do all of the work. And so I should have, from the very beginning, gotten team members to do the production work, all the services, and then I could have focused on the sales, like selling more and getting more clients. Because I did it this way, the wrong way, it actually kept me from growing. It wasn't until my second year in the business that I really started to put systems in place, and I got my first full-time team member on board. So one of the major goals that I have of this course is to help you avoid all of the dumb mistakes that I've made. So do not be like 2010 Sean. Be like 2011, 2012, and then that kind of Sean and present Sean. Present Sean knows the most because present Sean has been around the longest and has the most experience and wisdom. Let's just say it that way. So first of all, you should know that when you're starting out, it's actually an advantage not knowing exactly how everything works. One, you'll keep from getting too technical when talking with your prospects. And two, and this is a big one, you won't be tempted to do it all yourself. So to grow this into a real business, you need systems, software, and a team that will do the work for you. So by not knowing how to do it all yourself, you'll be forced to get that all going quickly. And, of course, you've got this handy-dandy course as your roadmap. So this can actually become part of your sales process as well. So chances are, even with a little bit of training, you'll already know more than the average business owner when it comes to digital marketing. But then if you're on the phone with them and they're super persistent and, wanting to know the technical aspects, you can just say, you know what, John, this is what I have a great team for. So let me ask my Google Ads expert, for example, and see what they say, and then I'll get back to you with the details. And in a lot of cases, your honesty and then knowing that you have a good team of smart people is always going to be appealing to the prospect. So I've got proof of this. Besides my own experience, Kevin here, he's a funny guy because he wrote a blog post that I wrote back in the day about outsourcing everything on Fiverr. And he started his agency and he sold like crazy using Fiverr gigs to fulfill everything. And he made $3,600 in his very first month. So he beat me out of the gate. He knew just enough to decide which services he needed to offer and then where to get them fulfilled. Like I said, he used Fiverr. So I don't mean to oversell this course, but if you follow along with the lessons, you'll come out knowing way more than I did when I began. And there's a possibility you can be even Kevin in how much you make in your very first month. So at this point, you might be like, Sean, seriously, I don't know anything about this. What do I do? And so I get it. And so here's two things that I want you to think about. First, number one, you need to learn enough. This is your business. So even with a fantastic course like this, right, you still need to learn something about the industry. You should learn a little bit about what you're selling, just a little bit. Definitely get familiar with the services you offer. And since no two agencies are exactly the same, I'm not going to list out every single tactic, but Google and YouTube know everything. And what I mean is you can literally look up everything you need to know online. I mean, duh. It's kind of obvious, right? But some other blogger or content creator has probably already done all of the work to explain the services and literally list it all out step by step. So what you can do is you can use those videos and articles in your own services. You can list out the steps in your systems like Asana, and we'll talk about that coming up. And then link out to those articles and videos for your team to learn more if they need to. So you can simply look up terms like related to your particular service offerings such as, best ad titles or how to drive more reviews for local businesses or whatever the case may be. So number one, learn enough. And then number two is create a game plan and then know it, right? When you create your list of services, you'll be putting it into a sales proposal. That proposal, I like to call it a game plan, and we'll talk about this more coming up. This will be the foundation for everything in your business. It'll be used for your sales. It'll be used for your services and reporting. And guess what? I'm going to give you a sample game plan to use in another lesson. So you don't even have to think, oh, geez, Sean, what do I put in my game plan? Well, I'll give you one that you can use, or at least that you can model and make your own. But the most important aspect is to know the key benefits of your services and how they will help the client. So think in terms of ROI, return on investment. You don't have to know all the technical aspects. Your average car salesperson probably couldn't tell you the intricate details of a V8 engine, but they can tell you that the car can go super fast or pull a boat or whatever. So as a savvy business owner, you're going to hire people that are smarter than you in certain aspects. Okay, so your 3 jobs. As a business owner, you're in charge of 3 things. And I'm going to talk about this a lot during this course, okay? But primarily, your jobs are revenue, systems, and a team. And that's it. It's not your job to do the books. It's not your job to design logos. It's not your job to do any of the ads for your clients. You're in charge of increasing revenue, like more sales, creating and refining your systems with fancy checklists and software, and growing your team. All of your time should be spent doing those activities. If you find yourself doing anything else, it's not going to help you grow the business. Trust me. Again, we're trying to avoid 2010 Sean, dumb Sean, right? So we don't want that for you. I learned by being dumb and trying to do everything myself. Now, obviously, at the beginning, you're going to have to be in charge of pretty much everything. But as soon as possible, start replacing yourself with people, systems, and software. And if you really want to hit that 10-hour work week or less, 4-hour work week, right? Then spend your time in revenue, systems, and team growth, and your business will grow. So remember this little picture from the last lesson? Your job is to be like Steve Jobs. He didn't know how to build an iPhone, but he knew how to lead the company that did. And that's your job. And this is vital for your mindset. Right now, before you go any further in this course, you've got to lock this in. So if we were to look at this picture of this lovely orchestra, right? If we were to compare an orchestra to your business, what do you think your job is? Are you sitting in the brass section? Are you sitting in the woodwinds? Maybe percussion? Well, surprise. Your job is the conductor, right? Keep in mind that the main purpose of this course is to teach you how to be a true business owner, to set up systems and get a team in place. So remember, you are not a freelancer. You do not do everything yourself. You do not need to know everything yourself. You do need to know how to set up systems and software. You do need to lead your team. You do need to stay on top of what's effective in your industry. So if it seems like I'm beating this point to death, it's on purpose. I'm trying to help you avoid all of the mistakes that I made when I first started out, and I'm trying to make sure that you can stay on schedule to making money in your new business before this month is over. So to really scale this business, especially if you're like me and you're jumping into this after being an employee for a long time, or maybe you're still an employee, don't worry, it's okay. You're in the right place. You're taking this course. We're going to get you out of there. Maybe you're already used to the idea of trading your time for money. Then what you need to do is pay special attention to what I'm about to tell you. Because in order to scale this business, you need to get away from the idea of trading time for money. And I know it's a service-based business, but when I get into the systems and software portion of this course, you'll see how leveraged it can be. So going forward, you're going to think about the value that you provide for your clients, not the hours that you put in. Okay, so the following will be your mantra. Like, you need to use this as the foundation for the rest of this course. You do not sell services. You sell packages or productized services. There's a very very small amount of custom work, except at the highest price packages. You do not sell your packages based on time involved, but instead the amount of value they add to a client's life. So the desired outcome the business owner wants, like, more leads or customers. You do not have any more than 3 packages that you offer. You funnel everyone into one of your 3 packages and possibly even just one. And instead of helping everyone who just needs help online, you only help those in your chosen niche. And we're going to talk about this a lot more because it's super important. So we'll scale back to this later on in the course, but I want to give you a little spoiler right now to cement in your mind where you should be. So this is basically like to scale and what's your main job. It's this. It's your killer offer plus automated prospecting and sales plus productized service and fulfillment, like tangible return on investment, plus retention tactics equals massive growth. And I'll break down these 3 things throughout the rest of the course. Well, it's more than 3 things, right? It's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 things, right? I'll break down these 4 things throughout the rest of this course, but it all goes back to your main jobs, right? Drive revenue, create and refine systems, and build your team. So just to kind of concrete this in, you are the business owner, not the business doer, if that makes sense. So repeat after me. I, say your name, am a business owner, not the business doer. Now, pinky swear it to me so that we can move on to the next lesson. Basically, and I'm going out on a limb here, but I'm guessing that you chose to take this course to start a business, to make some money, to ultimately have the freedom to do what you ever want to do. Like in this picture, this is a few years ago. This is my daughter. And yes, that was in Cozumel. It was on the other side of the island. It was like this perfectly calm day. It was amazing. But I'm guessing the end goal that you have, it has something to do with freedom. Maybe it's financial freedom, maybe it's time freedom, maybe whatever that means for you, freedom from your job. But that's the end goal here, okay? So if you follow along, we're going to get you there. We're going to leapfrog you over all the dumb mistakes that I made. And of course, if you have any questions or comments, post them below or send me a message and I will get back to you quickly. I will see you in the next lesson.